Welcome back. Mark Crawford, Bill Brandell, and our special guest in the booth here in the second quarter, the mayor of Portage, Don Overlander. 7-7 is the score. St. Joe and Portage Central are tied. Bears of St. Joe will start with the football back at their own 13-yard line. And about 2 minutes still to play in this first half. Ebon Sanders is the quarterback. Sends it to Hurley, and Hurley fights his way forward. Out for 7-8 yards, and it'll be second down and short. Scott Hurley is running hard.
Well, Scott Hurley once again running right over that right side of the offensive Bear line. We've mentioned them a couple of times, but Rob Fredrickson, 6'4", 220. Eric Robinson, 6'2", 280. Martin Baginski, 6'1", 223. And the center, Phil Cole, 6'2", 195. That's some power, that's some beef, that's some strength.
Hurley again left side, and this time he is met straight up. Looked like Portage Central's number 56, Eric Munson, the nose guard, the man who stuck the helmet in there and made the stop. No gain at all. It'll be third down and still about 2.
And another one of those key third down plays, Mark, as Portage Central moving the ball just a little bit as far as these exchanges of punts are concerned. St. Joe needs to get a first down here.
50 seconds still to play first half. Ebon Sanders hands off on the option to Fechner, and Fechner will be very near. It'll all depend on the mark. This may require a measurement. And you're right, Bill Brandell, although just 40 seconds remain here in this first half, I'm sure the Bears don't want to go into punt formation and give Portage Central an opportunity for another big return or a block. And it is first down yardage. St. Joe will keep it. And, gentlemen, I'll let you both make a call. You're going to take a chance if you like Mullenkamp now and throw it up in the air?
I'd throw it.
Well, I think I would probably throw it, but I don't think Ike will. No, having coached against Ike, no, I don't think he will. I think at this position in the field and on the kind of night that he's got tonight, I don't think we're going to see him throw the ball. But, you know, I've never been wrong.
Back to throw is Sanders. Dumps it over the middle to Fredrickson, and Fredrickson, busting a couple of tackles, has it out near the 40. And St. Joe quickly will call a timeout. 7 ticks remain on the clock.
Well, Ike did decide to throw it, but really was a very conservative pass, as it was a little middle screen that time coming to Fredrickson. He comes from his tight end position and hesitates, floats into the middle, and you'll see Sanders just deliver the short little pass. Fredrickson right across the middle, and then gets some good yardage on his own.
Well, have you seen any surprises this first half?
Well, I'll tell you, I think I was surprised at how easily St. Joe marched the football down the field first time they had it, and perhaps even the last time they had it when they moved 40 or 50 yards. When they get behind that big offensive line, they can clear some holes. Beyond that, I expected a fairly low-scoring, conservative game because of the conditions.
I did too, Mark, and I really have not been surprised. Both of these teams are capable of those long, sustained drives. As you look at Portage Central's history so far this season, they've had just classic drives on their first possessions of many of their ball games, taking the ball on long and numerous play drives to score first on a team. So that's not uncommon for them. And, of course, St. Joe, just their whole profile is a steady, hard-nosed, rock-em, sock-em, bang, 5 yards at a time football.
First and 10, St. Joe. More importantly, just 7 ticks remaining on the clock here. Ebon Sanders launches it out there. It's complete. There is still 1 second left on the clock. The officials try and stop it, but I think the horn has sounded. The officials have marked the football, and the announcer has told us it's the end of the half, but the officials aren't leaving the field yet. Let's hold on just a second here. Portage Central's gone. Ike Mullenkamp and St. Joe hadn't left yet.
Well, I think Ike thinks that he should have one more play. As you said, Mark, when that whistle blew, there was still 1 second on the clock. And if it's a first down, the clock, could have been stopped right then. That's just a judgment call, but it was very close. And obviously, Ike would have liked to have one more shot at it.
Well, folks are talking about it out on the field, but both teams have headed toward the locker room, and we have obviously reached halftime. Don Overlander, our thanks to you for joining us up here in the booth for a quarter.
Thank you. It was
And
a
we'll
real
hope
pleasure.
that Portage Central doesn't cause you to groan and scream too much. Tom Talby and our TV 41 Inquirer scoreboard coming up next, and a great second half of football.
There's nothing better than Oktoberfest in Germany.
Unless it's the Kalamazoo New Car Dealers Oktoberfest at the Kalamazoo County Fairgrounds, with drastic discounts on hundreds of new cars, trucks, and vans, every make and model.
Oh, boy.
Plus, register to win a German holiday for two via American Airlines.
Ach du lieber, savings plus German refreshment? Why, I can almost taste the brat now.
The Kalamazoo New Car Dealers Oktoberfest at the Kalamazoo County Fairgrounds.
Jawohl.
Take a look at this.
That looks interesting.
I think we could work with it. Do you have an invention, an idea for a new product?
Maybe you have a modification to an existing product.
If you're not sure where to go with it, maybe we can help. Call AIM toll-free at 1-800-225-5800, extension 75, and ask for our free information kit.
You've already got the creative mind. AIM could help you find the right direction.
Give us a call now.
If you had an old Ken Action Bank 24 card, you could get up to $200 just about anywhere for just about anything. You could get a clarinet in Reed City or strawberries in Fruitport. You could have a grand time in Grand Rapids or whoop it up at Indian Lake. You could buy a rock in Gibraltar or hot dogs in Hamburg. Action Bank 24 from Old Kent. It keeps you in touch with your money all over Michigan, all over the USA.
And welcome, everyone, to the Channel 41 High School Football Halftime Show. I'm your host, Tom Tawby, and tonight's featured halftime game, Parchment hosting Pawpaw. Tonight's big question in this game, can that long scoreless streak be continued by Pawpaw?
Sound Beals, is it possible for the Panthers tonight to break this shutout streak, do you think?
Well, I think we're going to have to play a very good offensive game, and their defense is very aggressive. But we have to make sure that we don't make mistakes. If we don't make mistakes and stop ourselves, I think we can score. Yes, I think we can win the ballgame.
It was Parchment having the distinction of being the last team to score against Pawpaw, doing so in the next to the last game of the season last year. Since then, Pawpaw under Rick Smith has put together a string of 8 straight shutouts. A win tonight for Pawpaw would give the Redskins the outright KVA championship. Parchment with a win could tie for the crown. Pawpaw scored the game's first touchdown late in the first quarter. Brian Bugg on a third down play at the Parchment 23 ran to the 5-yard line. Bugg then carried in for the touchdown with 35 seconds to play in the quarter. And the extra point was added. Pawpaw had a 7-0 lead. The Redskins struck again 1 minute and 40 seconds into the second quarter, and it was the defense that scored the touchdown. Jason Kaufman picked off a jet clear pass and ran it back for Pawpaw's second TD, giving the Redskins a 14-0 lead. Parchment made a bid to score late in the first half. The Panthers, on a good drive, faced a fourth down at the Pawpaw 18. And a fake field goal, quarterback clear, fired to the end zone, but the pass was incomplete with just seconds to play. So at the intermission break, Pawpaw held on to its 14-0 lead. In the third quarter, Parchment drove to the Pawpaw 21, but a field goal try from 38 yards out was wide to the left. Pawpaw still had its shutout string intact. In the fourth quarter, aided by 2 successive 15-yard penalties, Parchment moved deep into Redskin territory, but a pass interception stopped that drive. Pawpaw fumbled the ball back at the 10. Parchment, a chance to score again, then returned the favor. Pawpaw's final touchdown was again set up by the defense. Again, it was Jason Kaufman who pilfered a jet clear pass, dashed down the sideline for the score. Pawpaw was successful on the 2-point conversion try, upping its lead to 22-0. Then it was just a matter of time for the Redskins to run out the clock, post their 8th straight whitewash of the season, with it the KVA championship. The loss was just the second of the year for Parchment, now at 6-2, as the Panthers conclude their season next weekend at Gull Lake. As the joyous Redskins marched off the field, we talked with defensive standout Jason Kaufman, and of course the winning coach who has guided this team, Rick Smith. Did you guys talk much about the shutout going into tonight's game? This has been your 8th straight this year, 9th overall dating back to last year.
Yeah, we were really keen on McNichols. We thought he was going to score on us, so we were sort of hyped up for the game.
They got deep on you 3 times.
Yeah, a little nervous thing, but we did our job.
Well, Coach Rick Smith, well, you've got another shutout. This is number 8 this year, and I guess 9 overall, dating back to last year.
Yeah, we're happy with a win. That's what we came here for, and if we get the shutout, that's just icing on the cake. It was a great defensive game tonight, really. The defense picked off those 2 passes and ran them in for touchdowns, and, we made the big plays, and they didn't. I guess that was the story. They got down there, and we caused a couple fumbles, and, to shut them out, you got to be good, awful good on defense, and you got to be lucky, and we've been both so far. So.
Lucky or not, Pawpaw wins again. Final score, Pawpaw 22, Parchment nothing. Now for the other area scores, here is the Battle Creek Inquirer and Channel 41 football scoreboard. In other games tonight, Olivet wins by 5 over Bronson. Springfield wins by 20. St. Philip bowing to Penfield by 21. Maple Valley that good year beating Bellevue by a shutout. Niles downing Kalamazoo Central by 14. Again, at halftime score, St. Joe 7, Portage Central 7. Bearcats of Battle Creek Central win by a shutout over Portage Northern. North's by 8 over Benton Harbor. Hastings bowing by 6 to Harper Creek. Marshall wins by 6 over Coldwater. Hillsdale 22, Albion 11. Lakeview beating Sturgis by 20. Comstock 26, Gull Lake 3. Plainwell wins by 15 over Otsego. Three Rivers in a big game, beating Vicksburg by 2. Allegan beating South Haven by 17. Mattawan wins big over K Christian. Hackett by a pair over Delton. Jackson County shuts out Galesburg Augusta. Again, Pawpaw keeps that string going, beating Parchment by a 22-0 score. No report on the Bloomingdale Marcellus game. Martin wins over Decatur. Benville beating Lawton tonight. Gobos by 15 over Lawrence. Menden bouncing back, beating Centerville by a shutout. Climax Scots beating Burroke by 22. Schoolcraft wins big. Tomorrow, Constantine at White Pigeon. Grand Rapids West Catholic wins by 22. And Catholic Central by a half dozen over Union. Ottawa Hill shuts out Muskegon Catholic. Tomorrow, Preston plays Christian. Rockford 20, Granville nothing. Holland wins by 15 over the Buccaneers. East Kentwood 19, West Ottawa 6. Jenison wins by 14 over Mona Shores. East Grand Rapids wins by a shutout, so does Northview. And Wyoming Park blanking Sparta. Lowell by 15 over Zeeland tonight. Caledonia losing to Kennewa Hills. Forest Hills Northern winning by a point over South Christian. Coopersville beating Wayland. Hudsonville by 16 over Cedar Springs. Comstock Park wins 29-28, 29-8 over Godwin Heights. Iron Center wins over Kelloggsville. Middleville 34, Hamilton 7. Calvin Christian 32, lead 26. And that's the scoreboard. Now let's go back to tonight's featured game. St. Joe and Portage Central with Mark and Bill and the rest of the Channel 41 Friday night football crew.
Welcome back to the second half of the St. Joe Portage Central football game.
And our thanks to the St. Joe varsity cheerleaders and to Tom Tobby as well. Welcome back to McCamley Field in Portage. 7-7 is our score as we get set for the second half. Mark Crawford, Bill Brandell, glad you've joined us. And no surprises, Bill, in the first half stats.
Well, there really isn't. St. Joe's got the best of everything there, and Portage Central, by the looks of those numbers, shouldn't be where they are right now, and that's tied in this ball game. But to me, Mark, that's a little scary. If I'm St. Joe and I got all those numbers and I'm still even on the scoreboard, I'm going to worry a little bit. That makes a team build momentum against you, and they get stronger as they come on.
Well, the real key in this game for Portage Central has been special teams play. They won the battle exchanging punts, got the big punt return, scored a touchdown following a big punt return, and then blocked the field goal try by St. Joe later in the first half. 7-7 we're tied. Portage Central will boot it away to start the second half. Jim Brayton handles the kicking chores. High end-over-end kick. And we have flags on the field. And we'll bring it back. I'm not sure if the officials hadn't okayed the start. Well, we have a motion call, a procedure call against Portage Central. So we'll march 5 yards back against the Mustangs, and they'll boot again.
Well, I'm not sure what that was, unless it was just offsides of some kind, but obviously it can't be motion. Everybody can be moving as the kicker approaches the ball, but I'm not sure what that was.
They'll boot it again. A reminder, special edition of 41's Friday Night Sports, Saturday, 11:30, Western and Eastern. Big ball game down at Ypsilanti.
Well, that should be fun. Two college teams that, as you've mentioned already, Mark, battling to stay alive, really, for postseason action and in that MAC conference.
And then next Friday night here on Friday Night Football, we will be back up at Martin. Schoolcraft and Martin. Great ball game. Playoff implications there. A couple of great football teams. This time Brayton slips and falls as he boots it away. Fielded inside the 30, and St. Joe makes the return out to about the 35, 36-yard line. Stopped by Portage Central's number 56, Eric Munson. It'll be 1st and 10 for St. Joe. Mark it at the 36. And a reminder that St. Joe on their first possession of the first half, very impressive 14-play drive, just marched it right down the throat of the Mustang defense.
Mark, their offense seems to be a little hot and cold. At times they just seem to run anywhere they want to, and other times they seem to kind of get stuck in the mud.
Ebon Sanders with the I formation behind him gives to Hurley his second back. And stuck in the mud, if you will, is Hurley. The stop by Portage Central's Dave Kotecki. 7 tackles now on the night. We have Kotecki for no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Hurley is the leading ball carrier in this game. 18 carries, 94 yards in the first half.
Well, Kotecki very active in there at his linebacker position. One of the few juniors on this Mustang squad. He's a good one.
2nd down long. Ebon Sanders wants to throw. Eaton was coming on the blitz. Sanders fires it out. It's complete. Boy, great catch out there by Ken Ruppel.
Ken Ruppel, 6'3", and he took advantage of every inch of it this time, as Ebon Sanders is going to get plenty of time once again to deliver the ball. He makes his drop, makes his fake. Now he'll just float it up there, and Ruppel just goes up over the top. You get a great shot of it there as he takes it away from 2 defenders, comes down with the big gain, and the Bears are on the move.
Martin and Kopp really had good position over there defensively for Portage Central, but Ruppel just plain took it away. 1st and 10 for St. Joe. Sanders runs the option and has some room. 35, and down near the 30-yard line goes Ebon Sanders, stopped by Scott Smith for Portage Central. Gain of 7 on the play.
Well, Ebon Sanders with one of my favorite plays. That option comes down the line. There's the fake to the first man. Doesn't even think about the pitch man as he saw a little room, tucked it away, turned it upfield. Got about 8 yards on the play. He'll bring up about a 2nd and 2.
I mentioned Scott Smith on the stop. You saw number 33 again, Dave Kotecki up there helping on the stop as well. 2nd down 3 for St. Joe. Second back is Hurley. Hurley has the 1st down. He's inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line with it. Tackled by Portage Central's Scott Venema. But it's 1st and 10 for St. Joe, and the Bears are starting the second half the way they opened up the first half.
Well, they have shown signs of doing this at times, and then we've seen the Portage Central defense seem to stiffen. And in fact, coming down towards the end of the second quarter, the Bears had done this same thing, got almost to the same spot in the field when Portage Central put the hurt on them.
Double tight ends again. There's Hurley off right side. Has a couple of yards. He was upended near the line of scrimmage by the nose guard, Eric Munson, one of the tri-captains for Portage Central. Got just what you expect out of a nose guard, and that is great penetration.
I like the way Scott Hurley runs the ball up in there, Mark. We've seen him with some great runs up in the middle, but as he goes through the line, he's got both arms wrapped around the ball. His knees are coming up high, and he's got a lot of power, stays behind his blockers. We've already mentioned that. He seems to have a knack to find those big guys in there, and he looks like a good back to me. Not great speed, but a nice, powerful, solid back.
Rob Fredrickson with an equipment problem there for St. Joe gives us a minute to mention 2 special guests up in the booth. Don Overlander, who's been with us all game long, and one of the great fair weather Portage fans of all time, Jerry Colvin, our executive vice president and general manager, fought his way through the rain. Said he parked about 2 miles up the road here, and he joins us for the game tonight as well. Sanders on 2nd and 9 will throw. I hear whistles all over the field. Ebon Sanders was caught by the jersey And kind of an in-the-grasp call, which you don't see much in high school football.
You better not see much of that in high school football. There is no such thing as that. And that time it was a arm on the jersey. Watch Yvonne Sanders here as he's looking. He can't find anybody, and now where's the arm jersey right there? And right about now, the whistle starts blowing, but Sanders is going to break away. Andrew DiPolito is the one that had a hold of him. Here comes Sanders now. The whistle's already blowing, so he looks like he's getting away, but that one's all over.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I'm thinking I don't like that so much, but...
Well, it's 3rd down 15. I think everybody on the St. Joe sideline is with you. 3rd down 15. Sanders to throw. Out in the flats, has a man open. Very near the first down yardage is Ken Ruppel. Will depend on the mark. They'll mark it down at the 15. The first down sticks appear to be at the 14. Terry Martin makes the good stiff tackle, and I think stops St. Joe short of the first down.
Well, a great play. Yvonne Sanders, once again, has been right on the money with his passes. He's going to hit Ken Ruppel, and Ruppel just turns around, and he's about a yard short of where he would just ideally like to be, and ends up missing the first down. Terry Martin right there where he belongs. Good defensive position, and stops him from the first down.
They're measuring there on the far side of the field, and the signal from Yvonne Sanders is short by about a foot. You look down the Portage Central sideline at Bob Knight. Well, here is a key play in this football game. 4th down and a foot for St. Joe. Football at the 15-yard line of Portage Central. This one is all tied at 7-7.
Well, last time the Bears were here, they tried the field goal, and Portage Central just poured through to block it, and they ended up with great field position themselves. This time it looks as though the St. Joe club will go for the first down.
Boy, I got to believe they're taking it right side behind those big horses. They'll go right side, and Fechner has the first down yardage down near the 12.
Well, power football, as you mentioned. We've talked about this huge offensive line for the Bears. Watch that line this time as you will. They'll get great forward charge at the snap of the ball, and you'll see the back go just right up behind them, and that surge just takes them for the first down. A lot of the Mustangs hanging on, but it's just a little late when all you need is a yard.
Look like DiPolito on the stop. It'll be first down. Dive back is Fechner, and he is near the 10-yard line with it, where it'll be 2nd down and still about 8. It was 1st and 10 at the 13. Forward progress is down inside the 10, so let's make it 2nd down and 8. 7:05, still to play 3rd quarter. You've got Friday Night Sports here on 41. St. Joe and Portage Central locked in a 7-7 tie. Pair of unbeaten football teams. And I suppose it is possible we'll still have unbeaten football teams when we're done. Could have a tie. Dive down near the 5-yard line.
Well, that was a trap play, Mark, and once again, Eric Robinson from that right side coming over to the left side on the trap block, and he leads the way for Hurley as he comes up inside there. That's a nice-looking play. Got about 5-6 yards on it.
3rd down and 1. Hurley is well over 100 yards on his night, and a leading candidate for our Old Kent MVP. Yvonne Sanders brings him up. 3rd down 1. Left side, Fechner. Dives down near the 3, maybe 2-yard line, and I believe it's going to be 1st and goal.
Well, the Bears are motioning that way.
And now Bob Allen, the referee, does the same. You know, we have been really negligent. Have not mentioned until now, and nobody in the truck has helped us to remember. John and Lissa Garrett gave birth to a baby girl. 9:35 this morning, 7 pounds, 14 ounces. The proud dad was out here at the ball game a little before. John Garrett, our director. He and Lissa still debating on a name. St. Joe, the touchdown from 2 yards out. And it's 13-7. The Bears out front. Todd Fechner, number 23. Scores from 2, 13-7 St. Joe.
Well, Mark, this looked like instant replay of the drive that we saw to open the ball game. We saw the Bears take the ball on 14 plays in the first quarter. Now we see them open the third quarter. Here's the touchdown, just straight ahead with Fechner down inside there and driving his way to the goal line. I can't even find him in that pile, but somehow he got it into the end zone.
On for the extra point now. Freudenberg gets blocked. Boy, the Mustangs special teams. Bruce Eaton was dancing around like maybe he got a piece of it. We'll send you back to the studio. 5:45 still to play third quarter. 13-7 now. St. Joe out front.
When things go bump, crack, grind, crunch, or twist in the night, call Sir in the morning. This football season, Sports Injury Rehabilitation Network is holding special Saturday morning walk-in clinics to treat injuries from Friday night football. Now, the best team in sports medicine not only plays at home, we play on Saturdays. 1-800-441-2810. Sports Injury Rehabilitation Network, the SIR network in Marshall, Lansing, Olivet, and Coldwater.
Hi, I'm Tom Fox. There are a lot of good reasons why you should make Fox's your jewelry store. One is selection. We have one of the finest selections of diamonds, watches, 14-karat gold, pearls, earrings, and necklaces you'll find anywhere. Another is service. All Fox sales associates are specially trained to help you make the best decisions. Save 10 to 60% every day at Fox's on all your jewelry purchases. You have my word on that. No finance charges on qualified diamond purchases.
WUHQ-TV 41.
Mark Crawford, Bill Brandell back with you at McCamley Field in Portage. 13-7. St. Joe is out front. And just as they did at the beginning of this ball game, St. Joe's first drive of the second half. Very impressive.
I hate to beat a dead horse, Mark, but boy, special teams super important for Portage Central tonight. That could be a key, that blocked extra point.
Football bounces around on the field. Springman picks it up and gets it out near the 20. Boy, it looked for a minute like Portage Central would get a real break there as Eric Freudenberg, the kicker for St. Joe, kind of false started and then kicked on just 2 steps. It was short. Mustangs let it fall to the turf, and by the time Shane Springman chased it down and picked it up, there was nowhere left to go. First and 10, Portage Central at the 20.
Good point. The whole kickoff team for St. Joe really stopped kind of in mid-stride and waited for the kicker to get caught up. I don't know why he hesitated there. Maybe he thought he heard a whistle or something, but did not get a great kickoff, but ended up with good field position for their defense.
Van Knight with the pitch play to Curtis, and Curtis turns the corner. Still on his feet. Curtis may go. One man to beat, and Curtis down the sidelines. 80 yards on the touchdown to knot it up 13-13.
Well, Mark, lightning strikes here for the Portage Central team. Jeff Curtis, 5'10", 160-pound junior, and he took that first play offensively in this second half for the Mustangs and turned it into about an 80-yard, 6-point run. The profile of the Portage Central team has been just that, the big play. Here you see it, the option play in the pitch. Jeff Curtis turns the corner. Once he's by that man right there, it's a foot race. The only guy with a chance, number 33, is Tom Rollinger, and he just could not get enough speed to catch up with the ball carrier.
Extra point try now as Portage Central tries to take the lead, and they do. What a turnaround here in the third quarter. The blocked extra point by Portage Central, then Curtis on first down rambles 80 yards. The extra point knocked through by Brayton, and suddenly first lead of the night for Portage Central.
Well, both of these teams now giving up twice as many points as their season average, Mark. Both teams scoring 2 touchdowns so far in this one. And, of course, the difference being that blocked extra point. So now we see a typical ball game of strength against strength. The quick lightning strike play by Portage Central. They've been doing that all year long, scoring from long distances. On the other hand, it's St. Joe with those long, sustained, time-consuming drives.
Well, you and I don't see any ball clubs every single week. It's the first time we've seen Portage Central this week, but we do follow ball clubs, and I'll tell you, in preparation for this ball game, I never heard the name Jeff Curtis. 5'10", 160 and a junior. Kurt Johnson, Dave Madsen, the big backs for Portage Central. Shane Springman, big back as well. Madsen and Johnson are hurting a little bit tonight. And Jeff Curtis, an unsung hero perhaps, comes from the wings on the Portage Central bench. And his 80-yard touchdown run has given the Mustangs the lead.
Well, they've got to be feeling the good side of momentum now, as it's been 4 straight years that St. Joe has come away with a victory against Portage Central.
Kick is fielded by Hurley at his own 15. And Hurley has it across the 30, near the 35-yard line. Bears will start 1st and 10 right there. Very impressive drive by St. Joe on their first possession of this second half. And Ike Mullenkamp and company now need to follow that up with another.
Well, obviously, there's the play by St. Joe just before that lightning touchdown. That one was 11 plays for 66 yards, took 6 minutes, 8 seconds. And, of course, we just had that 80-yard run. That must have taken about, what, 10 seconds. One play, 80 yards. What a turnaround.
First down for St. Joe. Right into the interior of the Portage Central defensive line. Yard, maybe 2. It'll be 2nd down and about 9.
Well, those big linemen this time are not too effective for St. Joe, as that Portage Central defense fired up. They're determined that Mr. Hurley is not going to run up the middle anymore.
2nd down, still about 9 facing St. Joe. They trail 14-13. First time they've been behind in the game. Ebon Sanders nailed in the backfield. No gain.
And Mark, that's about the first time Ebon Sanders has been touched when he's been behind his offensive line. They've given him great protection. That time, I believe it was the option play coming this way, and he just had no chance.
3:50 and counting. Still to play 3rd quarter here from McCamley Field in Portage. 14-13. Central on top by a point. 3rd down and 9 now, facing the Bears of St. Joe. This one for the Big 8 Conference Championship. Fredrickson on that reverse again. Went for about 30 yards the first time. This time, Portage Central's Kerry Martin stays home. It'll be 4th down and punt for St. Joe.
Well, Fredrickson with that jersey that was white at the start of the game. There you see him, number 82. He tries to turn the corner and gets tripped up right at the ankles there. Great tackle by Terry Martin, number 40, a senior, 5'9", just 150 pounds.
The sophomore Layton now is on to try the punt for St. Joe. Pressure is coming. And, boy, he gets away a boomer. Cop backpedaling inside his own 20. Picks it up and is tripped up. Great play by St. Joe's Ken Ruppel. Boy, Ruppel's been all over the field tonight for St. Joe.
Well, he has. He's caught some passes tonight, and they're defensively getting downfield on that punt coverage. Great punt by Gary Layton, the sophomore. And we saw him warm up, Mark, and he was booming them like that. That was a dandy, and it comes at a great time as far as the Bears are concerned.
1st and 10, Portage Central. They start at their own 16-yard line, leading 14-13. Dan Knight leads the offense up. Goes up the middle. Some running room, Kurt Johnson. First down yardage and then some. 17 yards on the carry by Kurt Johnson. And it's 1st and 10, Portage Central.
Once again, the reverse pivot by Dan Knight, and that sets the linebackers in motion. This time, Kurt Johnson pops through that middle, right up over his offensive guard, and he's into the secondary, Mark, before you can even blink.
1st and 10 again now. Football at the 35-yard line for Portage Central. That's Jeff Curtis, who has 4 or 5 yards. Bill, let me ask you. Halftime stats, Portage Central only had about 60 yards in total offense. They come out here in the second half, roll off an 80-yarder, now a big 15, 16-yard gain, another 5-yarder. Are these adjustments Bob Knight made at halftime, or what's going on?
I think it's a situation more than adjustments of one where a team did not play particularly well offensively, and we're still in a ball game and then feel that, hey, if we get our act together, we can move the ball. And they got some momentum going their way, and they came out fired up. And I think it's more than X's and O's. I think it's a little bit more desire and a little more effort, a little more execution, rather than changing something as far as offense is concerned.
Well, on 2nd down and 5, St. Joe's Brian Richards, number 74, stuffs the play, gain of only about a yard. It'll be 3rd down 4, now facing Portage Central. Big play for the Mustangs as they want to keep possession. Left side to the first back. And it's going to be very, very close. Will depend on the mark. Kurt Johnson on the carry. And we may have to measure this one.
Well, as you said, it's right on the stick. It's kind of standing right in front of me, Mark. And the first down marker is just inches short of the yard line there, and so is the ball. So, as you said, we got an official right in front of us here, and we'll just have to wait till they bring those chains in.
You mentioned a few minutes ago, St. Joe has won the last 4 meetings between these two clubs. In fact, St. Joe has won something like 27 straight Big 8 conference games. 1st and 10, Portage Central. The Mustang fans celebrating down in front of us.
Well, that one not by much, Mark, but it doesn't make any difference. It's the first down.
The last 4 times these teams have played, in 1984, it was 23-21 St. Joe. In 85, 2-0 St. Joe. In 86, 6-0 St. Joe. In 87, 16-12 St. Joe. 4 victories by a total of 14 points.
That is amazing.
1st and 10, Mustangs. Knight with the reverse pivot. Pitches to Curtis, and Curtis tries to get the corner again. We'll see where they mark it. Gain of 12 or 13. 1st down yardage and into St. Joe territory.
Well, a little bit of a fundamental mistake by St. Joe as they are getting their cornerbacks up inside, and once the ball goes to the pitch man, he's able to find some running room. Here he comes again, Curtis with the ball. There's the cornerback, and you can see that Curtis had him outflanked that time, and that just means there's nobody left. Cornerbacks have got to get outside and turn that man inside.
John Shute on stats for us says that Curtis now 8 carries, 142 yards. Not a bad night's work. Knight keeps the football, dives inside the 35 with it. Gain of 8 or 9 on that carry as Portage Central chewing up some ground.
Well, Dan Knight on the option play going to his offensive right that time, turned it up inside. He's in that thin grassy area, so there's a little bit of slick and mud, and he kind of tippy-toed and danced, was able to get by some defenders just because they could not react quick enough to him. Makes a nice gain out of it.
Time has expired here in the 3rd quarter from McCamley Field. And we got a barn burner. 14-13. Portage Central up 1. Saturday night, Wing Stadium in Kalamazoo. Your Kalamazoo Wings, the Milwaukee Admirals. Face-off 7:30. Contact the Wings box office for information.
Why do people like doing business with auto owners insurance agents?
I'll tell you what, my 55th birthday. I got a sympathy card, knitting needles, and a lifetime supply of Mr. Macho hair dye. My auto owner's agent gave me something I can use. Insurance discounts. Being 55 is no problem for me. It's no problem for auto owners either.
In the Kalamazoo area, see the John Shuring Jr. Agency.
Hi, everyone. I'm Robin Hook, inviting you to join us this Sunday at noon for This Week in Bronco Sports here on Channel 41.
There is no cure for AIDS. That's today, but it is preventable. It's everyone's job to work at prevention.
Call 1-800-342-AIDS.
Mark Crawford and Bill Brandell back with you at McCamley Field in Portage. Tom Bruce at the controls, our director tonight, filling in for John Garrett, who's taking care of a new baby girl. Born at the hospital at 9:35 this morning. Karen Weller, as always, our producer. Final 12 minutes of play here. Big 8 conference title is on the line. An unbeaten record on the line for both of these clubs. And the loser in this ball game could fall out of the state playoff picture. Just about all you could ever want on the line in a high school football game. Little movement at the line. I'm trying to think here, but it strikes me that there's been a mistake with the chains. Weren't we at 2nd down and 3? And now we're looking at 2nd down and 7 after they changed. I think there's a problem with the chains here.
And the Portage Central coaches are out on the field saying the same thing.
I believe you're correct. As now they're running over and talking to the chain gang. It should be 2nd down and about 3. Now what are we doing here? Well, I don't know. They're not going to change it. Now they're going to make it 2nd down and 13. Okay, they're marking off the 5-yard penalty. And Bob Knight is out explaining to him there should be another 4 or 5 yards plus. I'm not sure how you could rectify this now because you've lost the field position.
Well, you're right. What they have to do when they change those chains from one side of the field to the other, going the other direction, they have to reverse the whole thing. And obviously, all they did was move them down, Mark. And of course, that's obviously a mistake. As you're right, should have been 2nd down and about 2. And of course, on the very next play, Portage Central gets some motion in their offensive line, get called for an illegal procedure, and get marked back 5 more. So they're going to end up with a 2nd and about 12, and it really should have been 2nd and 2. They've lost 10 yards total here.
Well, the officiating crew is still talking about things, and now somebody's trotting over again to talk to Ike Mullenkamp and to talk with the crew. And I'm not sure how we're going to end. They're going to turn things around here. They're going to do just what you said.
Now they're going to turn it around.
Now, wait a minute here.
Yes,
now they're going to rule that the down marker was at the correct yard line. It was the first down sticks that were wrong. They're still going to lose the 5 yards on the
penalty, right?
On the offsides. So we're going to end up with what? 2nd down 8.
2nd down and 8, right?
Well, I don't know if everybody understands that at home, but
well, that was a mess.
The bottom line is the football is sitting at about the 40-yard line. Portage Central's at the St. Joe 40. It's 2nd down and about 8. And there is a look up toward us in the booth here, and John Shute sitting beside us, and the mayor right behind us here. In what is a very nice press facility here at McCamley Field in Portage. This is one of the 2 or 3 best that we work in each year. CW Post is good. Houseman up in Grand Rapids, very good. But this is comfortable. If we had the thunderstorm and the rain, we'd really be happy we were up here. As it is, the field conditions have been all right. The rain's held off.
Well, I'm glad to see that the officials did rectify that obvious mistake, and they changed it. And so the Mustangs end up with a difficult 2nd down situation because of the penalty, but at least they were not hurt in a double situation because the ball had been mismarked. So glad to see him straighten that out.
3rd down 5, now facing Portage Central. Mustangs lead 14-13. We are early in the 4th quarter. Dan Knight. Pro set behind him and wide outs to both sides. Little look-in pass to Kopp, incomplete. Had it on his fingertips and a big hit by number 43 for St. Joe, Rick Wales, assured that Kopp would not hang on.
Well, Kopp, as you said, had it. It's down by his knees. It's a quick little look-in pass. And I don't know whether we can see Kopp. There you can see it, yes. And he juggles a little bit, and here's the hit. No chance to get it now.
4th down 5. And substitutions trot out onto the field as Portage Central will go into punt formation. And the job now for Bruce Eaton, the Portage Central punter, to try and pin St. Joe deep. Gets away a low liner, will bounce at the 10, inside the 5, and carried into the end zone, I think. No. Oh, they're going to mark it on the 1.
They're going to mark it on the 1. I don't know who that was. Got down there, Mark, and grabbed that ball, but he grabbed it, and of course it's dead where he touches it. His momentum let him slide into the end zone, but it's dead where he touches it. We'll pick that one up again. See if we can catch who actually grabs a hold of that ball, but great coverage.
'86, I believe we're talking about. Doug Eggerding gets credit for the play, and that one marked at about the 1-yard line. So St. Joe, trailing by a point 14-13, has 99 yards of green between them and pay dirt. Dive play right up the middle as they just try and find themselves a little bit of breathing room. The first back is Fechner, and he'll get him yardage maybe out to the 2, or it'll be second down.
Critical field position here. Obviously, St. Joe cannot afford any kind of mistake at this position on the field, so they got to hang on to the ball. And of course, you said, Mark, they got 99 yards if they want to get some points on the board.
Ebon Sanders, the junior quarterback, runs the pitch to Hurley, left side, who was dancing around in the end zone for a minute. Met by a whole bevy of blue-jerseyed Portage Central Mustangs as he crosses the goal line, gets out to the 3, and it's going to be third down and still long.
Well, even this play is a little gutsy play, Mark. It's a little pitch sweep, but boy, you hate to see that ball flying loose out there as it comes around the corner. Hurley trying to get the yardage upfield, and as he turns, he just runs into a whole bunch of Portage Central Mustangs.
Initial hit to defensive end Jesse Hoover. It'll be third down and 8, now facing the Bears. Dive play is Hurley. He's out to about the 5 and nothing more. Portage Central's defense has held. It'll be fourth and punt for St. Joe from the end zone.
What a key situation here. Now, remember, Portage Central has come through to block a field goal try. They've come through to block an extra point try. And now St. Joe with their backs against the wall. And Portage Central's special teams have been shining tonight.
You going after him here?
Well, I don't think you do, because you want to get good field position. And even if he gets it off, you should end up with it in a great situation.
Oh, boy. Whale of a kick by Layton.
Man, I guess.
Back across midfield, he drives Kopp, and Kopp, still on his feet, slides down at about the 44-yard line. Boy, there was a kick for you by sophomore Gary Layton.
Well, he got the Bears out of a real hole. Gary Layton, just a sophomore, 6'1", 163 pounds, and you can see Kopp backing up in order to catch the ball. He's got a little running room, but he gets over here in the center of the field, and you'll see him slip and go down to a knee, and of course that's where the ball is down in high school football. Right there, feet out from under him, and down he goes.
55 yards on the punt by sophomore Gary Layton from St. Joe. A return of 12 yards by Matt Kopp. Portage Central starts first and 10 at the 43 of the Bears. Dive play, and there's not much room there at all for number 22, Jeff Curtis. We'll give him maybe a yard. It'll be second down and 9. Martin Bingaman on the stop for St. Joe. 8:15 and counting still to play in this football game. 14-13, Portage Central by 1. The clock very definitely becoming an ally for Portage Central, particularly if they can keep playing field position here and keep the football in the St. Joe end. Curtis tries to turn the corner. Met in the backfield and bounces off one tackler, but get back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
Mark, that was the option play again, but this time Mike Fetty from his corner position was outside. I think he might have got chewed a little bit over there on the sidelines when his offensive teammates were on the field, because he was outside that time. There was no going around him. Good defense.
Third down 9 for Portage Central. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a fairly conservative football game, but I believe Bob Knight is going to throw it right here. I think the Mustangs want to keep the football here. I don't think there's any interest in giving it back to St. Joe.
Well, I think also that the Bear defense has adjusted a little bit here now that the second half is well underway. The Mustangs able to move the ball running and passing, or mostly running, but passing now because the adjustments by the Bears defensively. They've had some good runs up the middle, as you'll remember, on their first possession. They got outside with it 180 yards, so now is the time to throw.
Third down 9. Knight will throw, loops it out there, incomplete. Bounces off Doug Eggerding's hands. Good coverage over there by St. Joe's Fetty again. Had a little pump and go that time from Knight.
Well, here you'll see it as Knight does a good job of faking. Fetty out in front of the offensive man, able to knock the ball down. Doug Eggerding is the intended receiver, and he had a shot at it even after it was tipped, but couldn't grab it.
Bruce Eaton now will punt again. Last time he punted, they managed to pin St. Joe inside the 10, back at the 1.
I have a feeling they won't let it roll this time.
You're wrong. I'm wrong. Bounces at the 5 and crawls into the end zone. That'll come out to the 20. 6:45 still to play in this football game. Portage Central 14, St. Joe 13. Bears of St. Joe will have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 20.
Well, just by way of the ball going into the end zone, the Bears pick up a 15-yard advantage on those exchange of punts that time, Mark. They got a little breathing room now.
Mustang fans have nothing to worry about the next few years. Their junior varsity last year was 9-0. And their junior varsity this year won the conference title last night, 24-0 over St. Joe's. They're unbeaten. Ebon Sanders on the keeper, dumps it over the middle, and I think we might have a flag. Let's wait and see. Ebon Sanders was very near and probably beyond the line of scrimmage, and that is going to be the call. Bob Allen, the referee, was watching it closely, tossed a marker down, and I think Ebon Sanders was at least a yard or two beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that football.
Well, right. As the official, Bob Allen, runs up there, he marks where he saw the quarterback throw the ball, and then, of course, lines that up with the down box and the yard markers, and obviously Ebon Sanders was past the line of scrimmage. That's an illegal forward pass. That's going to cost you some yardage plus the down, Mark. That's an expensive penalty.
Well, they're talking things over with Bruce Eaton, one of the tri-captains for Portage Central. There, a look up at our crowd of about 4,000 people on hand here at McCamley Field. Kind of a cold and nasty night out here, but as you say, every night's a perfect night for high school football, right?
Yep, you can't have anything that's bad for football. Ebon Sanders that time had some running room over there, Mark, and then I think he spotted his big tight end, Rob Fredrickson, and wanted to get the ball to him. And it might have been Ken Ruppel, I'm not sure, but either way, he was over the line of scrimmage and delivered the ball. I'm sure Ike Mullenkamp will be telling him, gee, my knees, Ebon, you had room to run yourself. Take what you can get and do the best you can that way.
Well, they marked 5 yards off from the point of the infraction, which was 2 yards over the line of scrimmage, so it's a 3-yard penalty, plus loss of down, as you mentioned. It'll be 2nd down and 13, facing St. Joe. Ebon Sanders fires it out. Oh, nice catch over there. It's complete to Ruppel again. And this is a really fine young receiver.
Boy, Ruppel up to catch that one again, and just as effective as the pass. Ebon Sanders just lays it right there. Timing pattern again. Watch Ebon Sanders with the little fake. Now he delivers the ball to Ruppel on the sidelines. Once again, Ruppel with great size, 6'3", 173 pounds, and he's able to bring it in nicely.
Terry Martin on the coverage, and I think he thought maybe he was going to pick it off when the ball is thrown, but thrown so well, he had no chance. Ebon Sanders this time is going to keep it. Dance out of bounds after picking up the 1st down yardage. So you're probably right. Ike Mullenkamp had a few words with Ebon Sanders the last time he tossed it across the line of scrimmage. And Ebon Sanders this time wisely tucks the football under the arm, carries it for about 10 yards out to near midfield. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for St. Joe.
Well, credit that offensive line again for St. Joe, as Ebon Sanders has time to throw the ball. He's actually not pressured even when he rolls out to the side. That's why he's got time to spot his receivers. Actually got room to run when he wants to also.
Sanders with the I formation behind him. Gives it off to Hurley, and Hurley finds running room. About 15, near 20 yards on the carry. Down into Mustang territory, mark it at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for St. Joe. John Shute had just handed me a stat crediting the Portage Central defense This big guy, Hurley, picked up 94 yards in the first half, had just 20 on 7 carries in the second half before that big one right there.
Well, that was that inside trap play again with a double team over with Robinson and Baginski, and Andrew Rail pulling from his guard position to trap out on the tackle. Great play by Scott Hurley.
Hurley again has it inside the 35 to about the 33. Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd down 7. Clock continues to run. We have 5:20 still to play in this football game. And 14-13 is our score. Portage Central on top by 1. Boy, a bevy of candidates for our Old Kent MVPs. At the end of each ball game, we name our Old Kent MVPs, the players who, in our estimation, contributed the most to their team's success. And there are a lot of heroes out on the football field tonight. Ebon Sanders runs into his wide receiver, and it's a busted play. Jeff Varney was the motion man, and Varney never got by the quarterback. And Ebon Sanders is dropping back into his backfield, and Varney busts the play up.
Mark, this could have been even worse than it was. As you can see there, Ebon Sanders turns around, and Jeff Varney coming 100% right at him. There could have been a collision and a loss of the ball. Just a busted play. They were lucky to get away with it just right there.
Bad enough for St. Joe is the loss of yardage. It's 3rd down long. Sanders to throw, guns it over the middle, knocked down. Big defensive play by the linebacker, Dave Kotecki, number 33. And down on the field and hurting is Ken Ruppel.
Well, Ken Ruppel gets hit from behind after this ball is knocked down. We might be able to see that. There's Ebon Sanders with his fake. There's the ball delivered. It's intended for Ruppel. You'll see Ruppel. Now watch the hit from behind. And you can see why Ruppel is hurting, as there was no reason for that, Mark. That should have been a penalty.
Ruppel is up and going to be okay. His legs, I imagine, were what was hurt there in the tackle. Well, there is no penalty. It's going to be 4th down and 9. And let's see if the Bears feel like they have to go for it with 4:20 to play.
Oh, I'll tell you, the Mustangs are lucky, because that could have been a 15-yard penalty, and that would have given the Bears a 1st down. That really was not good football.
4th down 9. Quarterback Ebon Sanders still on the field, and so St. Joe will go for it right here. With 4:20 to play, this may be the ball game. Fired out and complete. 1st down yardage to the big tight end, Rob Fredrickson.
Well, I'll tell you, that's class when you've got a team that can come up with a 4th down situation like that. Credit Ebon Sanders. He's got a lot of tools, Mark, for a junior. He stepped back in that pocket, delivered the ball to that big guy that he counts on, Rob Fredrickson, all 6'4" of them, 220 pounds, and it's 1st down St. Joe.
Football is down at the 18-yard line of Portage Central. 4:15 now to play. 14-13 Portage Central, but St. Joe is driving. The Bears to Hurley, has it down near the 15. Bottom of the pile again, as he has been all night long, Dave Kotecki, number 33.
Well, you've got to be impressed with both of these teams, Mark, as they really come to battle. They come to play football. St. Joe, remember, started this drive at their own 20-yard line after a Portage Central punt had gone into the end zone. And now they're just, what, Mark, 15 yards from pay dirt.
Kotecki now 11 tackles on the night for Portage Central. Ebon Sanders, a 2nd down and 5. Keeps it himself. Tries to turn on the Jets. 10, 5, and dives near the end zone. They'll mark it at the 1. A 1st and goal for St. Joe.
Well, Ebon Sanders showing a great burst of speed as he ran a little fake inside and then just tucked the mail under his arm. He's gone right now. He doesn't know where he's going, but try to get to the end zone. Makes his cut, makes his turn, gets driven out of bounds on the 1-yard line. 1st and goal from the 1. St. Joe in great position now to retake the lead in this ball game.
Well, a little delay here. Both teams had come up to the line of scrimmage, and they are sent back by the officials. They've marked the football just outside the 1, I would say. Both times St. Joe has been down here before, it's been the dive back Todd Fechner. Whistle, they'll stop play again. Portage Central calls a timeout. Had all 11 players on the field. I think maybe Bob Knight just wanted to take a look and see what kind of formation St. Joe came out in. Or perhaps a new formation showed up for St. Joe, and one of the players, just showing some smarts, calls the timeout.
Well, that could very well be, but that is an advantage also for St. Joe. Of course, it gives Portage Central a chance to regroup, but also St. Joe now got to look at the defensive alignment as far as the Mustangs were concerned. And with the two coaches that we've got out here tonight, Bob Knight and Ike Muhlenkamp, boy, I'll tell you, they don't miss a trick, Mark. They'll have spotted what goes on with their people up in the press box, and they'll know exactly what they want to tell their young men to do when they get back out there.
You want a nice night for a quarterback, Ebon Sanders, the junior from St. Joe, in as pressure-packed a football game as a high schooler will ever face. 7 of 11 for 117 yards, several of them big third down plays, and he's run for another 40.
Well, he has been impressive.
Here we go, 1st and goal for St. Joe. The Mustangs of Portage Central looking for a big goal line stand. They lead 14-13, 3.5 minutes to play. Sanders to Fechner, the dive back, he's in. 1-yard touchdown run, the dive back Todd Fechner, and the lead goes back to St. Joe, 19-14.
Well, Mark, from where we are, it was hard to see exactly where the ball went, but Fechner took it. It took it to the right side of his offensive line. That's up behind Fredrickson, Robinson, and Baginski, and he got it into the end zone. There you can see great camera work down on the side. That's better than we could see it up here, Mark. Great work down there on the sidelines, and definitely into the end zone for Fechner.
St. Joe, having had 1 extra point blocked, will now try for 2. Sanders rolls right, throws it to the end zone. It's complete. The conversion to Fredrickson, 21-14, 7-point lead for St. Joe, but still time. 3:30 to play. 3.5 minutes for Portage Central to fight back.
Well, remember, Portage Central struck 80 yards in just 1 play, and so they have all of the offensive weapons that they need to get right back in this one. Of course, they need 7 points to just tie this one, but there's the 2-point conversion, which we just saw, which would give them the opportunity to still win this ball game, Mark. 3 minutes, 31 seconds, that's plenty of time.
Well, this ball game's been everything we would have hoped.
It has been great. 2 excellent ball teams. Some great athletes out here, great coaches, and some great efforts. You were mentioning a minute ago, Old 10 MVPs. Boy, oh boy, have we got some choices to make.
Very quickly, we have 2 more ball games on the schedule here we expect to be every bit as good. Saturday night, Western and Eastern. 11:30 is start time, and next Friday we'll have Schoolcraft at Martin. A couple of Class D powers. High short kick will be fielded by Portage Central's Martin. And Martin has it to about the 35-yard line. Stopped by Rick Wales from St. Joe. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Portage Central. There's an impressive drive by St. Joe.
Well, it really is, because they're at behind in the ball game at this point, and they take the ball on 11 plays. They had a penalty in there that they had to make up for with an illegal pass. They did it in 3 minutes, 14 seconds, went 85 yards, and got the 6 points, and then went for 2 to pick up 8 and go up 21-14.
Time now for Dan Knight and Portage Central to feel some pressure. Quick pitch, right side to Curtis. Flag goes down as Curtis has the big gainer, but we're probably going to have a hold or some kind of illegal block against Portage Central.
Well, I'm pretty sure that you hit it, because just as the ball carrier turned the corner, the flag was thrown. We might be able to pick up the clip here. I'm almost positive that's what it is. Either an illegal block, which means below the waist, or a clip. And I did not see it, Mark, but you're right. That's what it is.
Clock is stopped with 3:03 still to play. Jeff Curtis took kind of a nasty spill into the bench there at the end of the play. You see big Rob Fredrickson, number 82 there, who's played himself a game, and his uniform looks like it, talking with Bob Allen from Richland, our referee. Rob Fredrickson deserves a little consideration as our Old Kent MVP perhaps tonight from St. Joe as well. Played a good game at linebacker, a couple of key pass receptions. Ken Ruppel's done the same for St. Joe. Portage Central has gotten a great night's work defensively out of Dave Kotecki, number 33. Jeff Curtis has had the super offensive game coming off the bench. This has been a standout high school football game. They've marked off big yardage against Portage Central. Football all the way back to the 25-yard line, where it's going to be first down and 22. So the Mustangs digging a hole for themselves. They must have a touchdown. Curtis stuck after about 4 or 5 yards. Good stop defensively that time by the Bears, number 34, Brian Maxim.
Credit a recovering Bear defense that time, as really there was some good running room over there. And the defense closed up on it in a hurry.
Second down 19 now. Facing Portage Central, Knight will have to go to the air. Straight drop. Freudenberg misses him. Knight guns it over the middle, complete. Big hit. But it's a first down. Completion to Eggerding. Good for the first down yardage.
Well, a little pressure this time by Dan Knight as he gets pressured himself in the backfield and then delivers the pass and gets the first down. There you see it on the run. Boy, and it's right on the money.
Portage Central now in the hurry-up offense comes to the line. First and 10. 2:15 still to play. Football at their own 45-yard line. Knight tosses it out to Matt Kopp. Kopp will try and bust the tackle and get to the sidelines. He can't. He does pick up 8 yards across midfield and down to the 46-yard line of St. Joe. Clock counts inside 2 minutes. Second down 2. Complete again. This is Martin, and Martin, is he out of bounds or not? No signal by the official, and now the official signals to stop the clock with 1:39 left to play, and Portage Central on the move. Down now at the 37-yard line of St. Joe. Dan Knight, who has not had a particularly good night throwing the football, all of a sudden making the connection. Fakes one way, launches it. Fight for the football. Is it intercepted? It looks like Ruppel has made the interception.
Boy.
And that may be the Big 8 title.
Well, Ruppel from his defensive back position, 6'3" again, talking about size. And he was able to go up and take the ball away. Who was the intended receiver, Mark? I didn't get the number.
I'm not sure either.
It's number 11. It's Kopp. Look at the leaping there. That could have been had by 3 people out there, Mark. But Ruppel just a little bit more aggressive there. I guess he wanted a little worse than the other player did.
Matt Kopp and Ruppel both have their hands on the football. It's Ruppel who comes down with it inside the 10-yard line, and it may be that close and that far from a Big 8 title for Portage Central. The big guy Hurley takes it right into the line. No gain at all. Portage Central immediately calls timeout.
Well, we mentioned earlier that this game was critical as far as playoff possibilities are concerned for these two teams, but probably more critical for Portage Central than for St. Joe. This could be devastating for them.
It's always difficult to figure out, but one had to believe that St. Joe perhaps could have qualified for the playoffs in Class B, even had they lost here. Portage Central, I would think, with no chance in the playoffs if they lose this football game. Right now, it's 21-14. St. Joe on top by a touchdown. Just 52 seconds remain, and the Mustangs are looking for a miracle.
Well, they, of course, got to try for the turnover. They're going to be tackling the ball and try to get it loose. And, of course, Ike Mullenkamp is telling his young men, guys, all we need to do is hang on to the ball in this particular situation. Timeouts left. Mark, what's our situation there?
Portage Central, I believe, still has 2. Make it 1.
Make it 1.
They had to call 1 when St. Joe was down at the goal line last time, and Portage Central was on defense. So I believe only 1 timeout left for Portage Central. They need a fumble. They need to force a fumble. Ebon Sanders hands it off again. And Hurley, near the first down, may have it. Doesn't matter all that much if he gets a first down. Clock is stopped with 45 seconds left, and the Bear players celebrating a little bit in the huddle. Timeout is called by Portage Central.
Well, I think you were right. I think that is the last timeout for Portage Central, and it was a first down for St. Joe. So technically, Mark, they can just snap the ball, step back, and let that clock run down. They'll probably have to do that 2 or 3 times, but they can run the clock out really without really attempting to advance the ball anymore.
I think just 2 more plays is all it will take. 45 seconds showing on the clock. And by the time they set it following the play here, I think that's pretty well going to do it. Reminder again, Saturday night, 11:30, Western and Eastern for you from Ypsilanti. And we hope you'll join us for that special edition of Friday Night Sports here. Saturday, 11:30. And then next Friday night, Schoolcraft at Martin. Great showdown between a couple of super Class D football programs. 1st and 10 for St. Joe as the Bears try and run out the clock. Ebon Sanders simply steps back, puts his knee down, and maybe will have to step back and drop the knee 1 more time. He will. They set it with 34 seconds left, so Ebon Sanders will be forced to do it 1 more time, but the Bears of St. Joe, barring a major mistake here on the snap, will escape and leave Portage with a 21-14 victory and a Big 8 conference crown.
Well, this has been a treat tonight, Mark, and we've got another one next week. I don't know whether it can top this or not, but this was great.
Inside 10 seconds left. The St. Joe fans on the far sideline ready to stream onto the field and celebrate a Big 8 championship for the Bears of St. Joe. They do it the tough way with a big drive in the final 5 minutes of the game. On the road, St. Joe your winner tonight, 21-14 over Portage Central.
5 special ingredients.
Before your 17-12, finishing the season at 9-1. Third play from scrimmage in the 3rd quarter. Quarterback Eben Sanders hits Rob Fredrickson, who does a juggling act, then goes 72 yards for the score. Flag against